video, we're just going to be reading as much as possible throughout this week.
And written in memory of those who die alone.
Help. She's doing a German accent, an American accent, English accent, I believe. So it's like, yeah, that's a 5-star. I am just very proud of this one. We've had people die. I'm just on chapter 4. Hi fairies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Fifi. It's so nice to have you here. I hope you stay a while. So I reached my reading goal about 2 weeks ago now, and since then I haven't really been reading as much as I would like. So in this video, we're just going to be reading as much as possible throughout this week and see how much I can get done. The first book we will be starting with is My Fair Frauds by Lee Kelly and Jennifer Thorne. This is actually an audiobook arc that I was given on NetGalley, and it comes out today. So I'm quite late, but I am going to try and get it done today. It's basically about this con artist who is posing as this high society, highly regarded duchess of a Germanic nation called Württemberg, and she's basically just trying to take down some 5 robbers that destroyed her father and her family. So in the course of this, she meets our second main character, Cora, who is a scrappy magician's assistant who obviously hates her life and is trying to make do, and basically just has very big ambitions and no way to fulfill those ambitions. So together they work to take down the upper echelon, the upper crust of New York, essentially. In this time, it is set in like the 1800s, I believe. I already started it. I'm about 10% into it. I am really loving it so far. I think the writing is really good. It's not flowery, I wouldn't say, but it's written in this, like, is it Victorian? I'm not sure what era this is set in. 1800s is when that's like Elizabethan. I don't know. It has this old English way about it that is just very pleasing to listen to. And I think the way the story so far is being told is just very intriguing to me. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the writing. I already feel like I'm going to love the characters. We've just had our 2 main characters be introduced to each other, and they are going to work to, figure out this whole con situation, I believe. I'm just so excited. I think it's going to be a very interesting read. I'm having high hopes right now. I hope it doesn't disappoint me. But I do have to go to work, okay? So I'm not sure how much I'll be able to listen to, but whenever I do have free time, I'll listen to it and try to get as much as possible done. So yeah, I'll see you guys when I get back with an update on this book. Hey guys, I just got back. I think I want to film a video, but before then I thought that I would give you an update. I have made it about 46% into this book now, and I just have to say that I am completely loving it. I'm just loving how the story is being told. I think this narrator is like one of the best narrators I ever heard in an audiobook, because she's so freaking good. She's doing multiple accents, languages, and it's just all so seamless. Even when she changes her voice to talk like a man when a man is obviously involved in a dialogue, I really think that she's one of the best that I have seen be able to actually sound like a man. It's just a very interesting niche thing, but she's doing it so well. She's doing a German accent, an American accent, English accent, I believe. What other one? French, and she's also speaking those languages from time to time, and it's just so seamless and done so effortlessly, and I'm just really loving it. Aside from that, I think the writing of this book is so freaking good as well. The authors are actually really good. I really want to dive into their discographies and just see what more they have to offer, because I think this is really good so far. I think the pacing is so good as well. It's not really much that's happening. We had a whole period of, our main character Alice teaching our other main character Cora how to live and present herself in high society, and it was just a period of her learning, and not much was going on, and not much is going on even still, but it's just so intriguing and so engaging. And I think it's because of the writing and the pacing and how things are being expanded upon. We have so many other people involved in this con aside from our 2 main characters. And Alice has told Cora that it's just business, they are not going to form a relationship or a friendship, nothing like that. Once they are done, everybody goes their separate ways. But I think it's very obvious that a bond will in fact be formed. Alice is trying to deny it, and Cora, she's just so sweet and innocent. Obviously not that innocent, because she is engaging in this con act, but yeah, I just think I love them as characters so much. They feel very real to me, and this honestly feels very real to me. I can picture this so vividly. I think this would actually make a really good like show or movie. So yeah, I'm just loving loving it so far, honestly. I think this has the opportunity to be a 5 star, which is crazy. Okay, I never really expect a 5 star from NetGalley arcs, but this is looking really good so far. I can't wait to see how all this unfolds and what comes of all this, and if they actually will get away with what they are doing, because it's actually very intricate and very dangerous. So yeah, I'm kind of scared for them, but I'm also really, really rooting for them, honestly, because these people are actually horrible people. It's just like rich people that are just vapid and senseless. We had somebody say, "Oh, let's throw a poverty party where we basically dress like poor people," and it's like, what? What are you? Like, it's insane, and it's crazy to think that there are people that think and act like that in this day and age. But yeah, I'm going to keep listening to it. I don't know if I will update you before I finish it, but whatever happens, I will let you know. I'm so sorry that I haven't actually had the time to take you guys along my listening to this book. I just have been listening to it on the go, and I've had so much going on in my life. But I did, in fact, finish My Fair Frogs by Megan Kelly and Jennifer Thorne. All I have to say, you need to read this book. Actually, that's not all I have to say. I do have quite a bit more to say, but this was so freaking good. I loved it so, so much. It was so engaging and so interesting, grabbed my attention from the very first chapter and kept my attention until the last chapter, until the epilogue, the encore, as they called it. The writing was so beautiful and incredibly detailed while being so simplistic and easy for you to understand and follow. The pacing and the plotting were done so freaking well, because it's not the most fast-paced thing ever, okay, I will say that, but your attention is piqued throughout the entire book, and every single part of the writing does exactly what it intends to do. I personally loved all the characters so much. I think they all had so much depth. The two main characters especially were very much fully realized and had so much depth and relatability, and I just connected to them so much. I found myself connecting and caring about them so freaking much, way more than I expected, okay, because they are doing something that is generally morally incorrect and bad, but I felt like intrinsically they were all such good people, and you just couldn't help but root for them. Okay, they are committing a crime essentially, but you could not help but root for them, because at the end of the day, the people that they're committing this crime towards are actually horrible people and bad people that don't care about anybody but themselves. So it's like, slay. I had such a great listening experience as well. I think the narrator is one of the best narrators I have ever listened to. She's so incredibly talented and so obviously intentional about her work as well, and the way she just was drifting from this accent to that accent, back to an English American accent, and then British, like it was so seamless and so effortless. And I truly will be looking out for her as a narrator. Honestly, I wish she could narrate all my books from here on out. But I guess it goes without saying that this book was in fact a 5 star. Like I said, it's not the most incredible thing ever, I can admit that, but also I'm like, I can't think of anything about it that I did not like or did not enjoy. So it's like, yeah, that's a 5 star. That is in fact a 5 star. I really, really recommend it. I think you should pick it up, especially in this period. I don't know, for some reason it goes very well with this cozy Christmas vibe, even if there's really nothing about Christmas in it. I just feel like it fits the energy and the vibe. That said, though, I am going to be starting another audiobook. This is an audiobook arc again that I got from NetGalley called The Light a Candle Society by Ruth Hogan. This is more of a literary fiction, I believe. I really have been loving more literary reads about people that tackle, the human experience and humans as a community and all that kind of stuff. And I truly think this is definitely going to give that vibe. It says George McGlory has been adrift since the death of his beloved wife Audrey, but when he stumbles upon a public health funeral, a stark ceremony with no flowers, no mourners, and no love, he resolves to do something about it. Determined that every life deserves to be remembered, George teams up with florist Elena, undertaker Edwin, and Sid, the eccentric owner of a bric-a-brac shop. Together, they form the Light a Candle Society, a group devoted to bringing light, beauty, and compassion to those whose final journeys would otherwise go unnoticed. As they craft heartfelt tributes for strangers, George and his newfound friends begin to confront the ghost of their own past, discovering that remembrance can heal as much as it honors. Like, hello, I feel like this book is going to tear me apart, and I'm kind of scared now. Like, I had a rough idea of what the book was about, but reading that out loud, that's kind of scary. I feel like that's going to hit a little bit too close to home. there's definitely going to be talks about grief and stuff like that. So I don't know. I am excited though because I truly have been wanting to feel things deeply recently because yeah, maybe I shouldn't actually get into that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to start it now and I will let you guys know whatever happens.
Dreamscape presents The Lighter Candle Society by Ruth Hogan. Narrated by Mark Elstob. This book is dedicated to Kylie Dillon and Jim Gaffey, and written in memory of those who die alone. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. St. Francis of Assisi. It begins with an ending. The young man with dark hair styled into an Elvis quiff lifted the gun and nestled the butt into his shoulder.
Guys, I've literally just been sitting here listening to this book, peacefully listening to this book. Tell me why I'm literally about to cry. Like, what do you mean? I'm just on chapter 4. I'm just on chapter 4. What do you mean? Welcome home, my darling. Like, this is going to be bad. Like, the book is going to be great, but this is going to be bad for me mentally. We have George, who is apparently the main character, and as I've already said, actually, his wife died. One day he stumbles upon this whole scene where a public health funeral is happening, and there are no mourners, nobody there for this person who is being buried, and he, because he is an empath, feels so bad and so sad, and he continues to talk about it. Everybody he meets, all his friends that he sees, he asks them and talks to them about it. And I haven't gotten there yet, but apparently he's going to start this whole foundation or group where he will provide flowers to whoever it is that, is leaving this earth alone, dying alone, and being buried alone. But apparently, we get chapters of each person that he will stumble upon. The last chapter I just listened to, chapter 4, basically was about Derek, this old man who finally reached a happy point in his life, came out as gay, started living with his boyfriend. They literally only had 3 years together, and then his boyfriend died.
George stood outside the little flower shop just along from Sid's Emporium. Would be another death perfunctorily marked with scant consequence given to the life that had preceded it. Very own. Their fate had been unavoidable, given the circumstances. But what about Derek, who had just been carried into the chapel?
Like, it's so sad but wholesome type of books and stories where there is like actual humor incorporated into it, but it's also like gut wrenching. Like, what do you mean? It's also set in the UK, so it's kind of reminding me of Thursday Mother Club, which is a book I loved, a book I gave 4.5 stars, and that was sad as well. But I feel like this is going to be even sadder. Help. Hey guys, I've just filmed a video and I thought I would come and give you guys an update on the Light a Candle Society. I am about 60% through it now. I have nothing further to say because I feel like with a book like this where not much is happening already, the smallest thing can be considered a spoiler. It is going really, really well. I have found myself very teary-eyed at so many parts of this book because we've had people die. We're getting backstories of these people who end up dying, and then our main characters put together this funeral for them, and it's all just so melancholy and sad, and it causes you to reflect on your own life, and it feels almost existential in a way because our characters are reflecting on their lives as well. It's making them look back and it's making them grapple with the things that they might have done wrong in their own lives. And yeah, it's just a very like human book, a very real book, a very deep book, true to the heart, true to the soul, and what it means to be a human. With all these people that our main characters are putting together funerals for, the whole sentiment is that everybody's life deserves to be celebrated. And I honestly don't know how I feel about that because there are some people who I don't think their lives should be celebrated. Okay, pedophiles. horrible people, murderers, people that don't care about other people's lives. So why should we care about them? We haven't really gotten anybody like that, at least so far. We've gotten some people who have taken the wrong path in life, based on what happened in their own lives, and they haven't really harmed or hurt anybody necessarily, but they just fell into the wrong path and ended up dying alone. So I'm glad, because I was kind of scared that this would be a bit of an apologist type book, being apologies for maybe rapists or murderers, stuff like that, because we did have somebody ask our main character in the beginning, like, what if this person was a murderer? Like, why should they be celebrated? And he was like, oh, but it's about the life that they lived before. I don't know. I was a bit skeptical, but it is going really, really well, and I am enjoying it so much. I'm having a great time. Not a great time in the sense that I'm having fun, but I do think it's an amazing book. The writing is so good. It's very much infused with English humor, and it's poetic, but not in a way that's in your face. It's simplistic, very much so, and easy to follow, but also has some very small snippets and lines that strike you and get you thinking and reflecting about your own life. And yeah, it's just beautiful, to be honest. There was a point where I just about cried because something happened to one of the characters, and we thought that they were going to die as well, and their own life was a little bit bleak as well and lonely. So I thought they would now be one of the people that they planned a funeral for, but yeah, she did end up dying, thankfully. But yeah, I'm just enjoying it, and I'm just having a good time following these characters. The next time I update you, I'll probably be done with this book, so I'll see you then.
Next to the sweater, and Roxy had sat beside him, stroking his ears, while silently tears ran down her cheeks. Camden had given Roxy his ears as several weeks before he died. It was almost as though he had been putting things in order in preparation for this eventuality. Roxy was there when her mother ran. Oh, this is a man who wants to upset and I guess not stress.
I literally just got back from work for the last time in a little while, and I'm so happy to have a little bit of freedom. Yesterday, though, I finished The Light a Candle Society by Ruth Hogan. I really, really, really liked and enjoyed this book. I thought it was so freaking good. I really liked the writing. Like I said, it was infused with this old British humor that I, for some reason, resonate with and enjoy. It was also very simplistic in nature, but intentionally simplistic. It was very leisurely, very easygoing, easy to follow, with occasional hard hitting lines that stop you in your tracks, like, whoa, I didn't know this was happening. And it's just so beautiful when an author is able to pull that off. I love the characters so much. I think they were all so intentionally placed and purposeful to the entire and overall crux of the story. And they all came together to just provide us with this beautiful story of love and of friendship and of family and bonds outside of all those, primary social groups. The book in itself is what you would call a book about people, a book about humanity and the human experience in general. And it was just portrayed so beautifully. There were definitely some things that I think could trigger some people, so beware of that. This book tackled very popular themes like love and loss and grief, but it also tackles life and death, and how life should always be celebrated, even in the face of death, or maybe even especially in the face of death. And I just appreciated the messaging of the book so much because it was so intentional in its portrayal. And yeah, I just think this is an author that I would be checking out for. There are some other books by her that apparently have gone viral, but I didn't realize that it was written by her. I definitely plan to, go back and look through her discography and read more books by her, because I do think she could be one of my favorite authors. I just like the way she writes. It's nothing special, but it resonated with me very well. I think my only gripe with this book would be the audiobook. I didn't enjoy the narrator. The book is narrated by this older man, and he was good, he was okay, he's pretty talented in his craft, I guess I would say, but I just didn't love the voices that he used for the women. and some other characters. It just didn't really connect to me. I found them not very believable. I also felt like he was a bit monotonous. I think it was because he was trying to portray this old man who is like lackadaisical and sarcastic and nonchalant, I guess I would say. But there were some lines that I feel would have hit me harder if he had put more emotion and feeling and heart into them. But they just didn't because he didn't do that. So yeah, it's not really a huge problem. Obviously, it's a pretty petty thing to pick apart, but it's just something that I personally, found a bit annoying. That obviously has nothing to do with the actual book, though. I really, really enjoyed the book and I thought it was amazing and very beautiful and wholesome. I definitely think it's a book that I would like to read physically sometime in the future, maybe even annotate a physical copy. I keep thinking about the last 10% of this book because I cried so much during it, and it's making me want to give this book a 5 star, but I just feel like I didn't get the 5 star feeling throughout listening to this book. I think it's more of a 4.5. And I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, I just don't think it gave me a 5 star vibe. 5 star is, in fact, a feeling. So, yeah, that's that about that. I am going to be starting the third and final book of this video, which is Miss Austen by Jill Hornby. This is a historical fiction, I believe. It says it's based on a literary mystery that has long puzzled Jane Austen fans. Interesting. 1840, Cassandra Austen returns to the village of Kingsbury. She knows that in some corner of the vicarage where she is staying, there is a cache of letters written by her sister Jane. As Cassandra recalls her youth, she pieces together buried truths about Jane's history and her own, secrets which should not be revealed. And she faces a stark choice. Should she act to protect Jane's reputation or leave the letters unguarded to shape her legacy? Interesting. Apparently, this is based on Miss Austen herself and her sisters, which is very interesting to me because I've only read one book by Jane Austen, which was Pride and Prejudice. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, I believe. I do plan to obviously dive more into her discography and read more books by her and her sisters. So I'm excited in seeing their portrayal and what this author believes their characters to be like. I feel like this is going to be a very literary historical fiction, and we all know by that I eat that up. So I'm going to start it now, and I will let you guys know whatever happens when I get further into it. It's literally 5 a.m. I just finished filming a video, but I thought that I would give you an update on this book. I'm currently on page 89, entering chapter 6. I would say that I'm really, really liking it. I like the writing a lot. I think that I find myself really connecting to this old way of speaking when it is done in books. It just feels a lot more classy and intentional and effective, in my opinion. There are a lot of lines in this book that I have highlighted, a lot of lines that I really love. This particular one says, "These are the things by which most of us are remembered. These small acts of love, the only evidence that we too once lived on this earth. The preserves in the ladder, the stitch on the miller, the mark of the pen on a page." This other one, "Oh, the power of small things when larger ones, the home of the family proved fragile." So, like, it's very lyrical in that sense and very introspective, and I'm just connecting to it a lot. As far as the actual story goes, I don't know that I'm connecting to it as much as I would like. It's just feeling a little too slow right now. I wish we would just get to the point of it, the crux of it all. We are basically following Cassandra, who has returned to this vicarage in Kingsbury and is looking for letters from her sister Jane. She was trying to get to these letters before anyone else because they are planning to sell the vicarage. Now that she has gotten the letters, we are getting some insight on her past life and her life with her sisters back then, and why she's a single woman, even though she's quite old, and even though she once was engaged. We are getting the backstory on all of it. And this book is proven to be a bit of a feminist book in a way because it is, talking about how Cassandra believes that being single is not the end of the world, and she's trying to impart that on another young girl in this vicarage called Isabella. I know that Jane Austen herself was one of the authors and public figures that kind of not necessarily spearheaded feminist movement, especially not in a radical way necessarily, but she was one of the people that were talking about how marriage is literally not the end of the world and how it's not that bad if you as a young woman don't get married and have other ambitions aside from marriage. So I'm really liking that aspect of this book, and I'm liking the book. I just wish that it would pick up. I also wanted to give you guys an update on my crochet. This is a pencil case that I have finished actually. It's obviously not the prettiest thing ever and not the most intricate precise thing ever, but it was done from my heart and it took a lot of time. And I am making it for a 9-year-old, so I'm hoping that she won't care regardless. I still need to do blocking. Honestly, I don't know what exactly blocking is. I just know it's a thing that helps it sit better. So I'm going to look that up and figure out what it is and block this project. But I'm very proud because it's my first ever fully finished project and I feel very fulfilled by it, even though I'm going to give it away. I feel very much attached to it. I still have this project, which is supposed to turn into a hat. I still don't know how exactly that will happen, but I kind of put it to the side because I ran out of this yarn color, and also it felt like I was literally just going around in circles. So I think I might continue to do a different color, maybe black or so, but yeah, not really hopeful about this one, and I start a completely different project. I am just very proud of this one, and I thought that since there are some clips of me crocheting in this video, I would give you guys a little update. So yeah, I'm going to keep reading this book and I will update you when I get further into it. I am now on chapter 16, page 224, I believe. And I would say that this is going relatively well. I am really liking the writing. It's that very, very old English type of writing that is just incredibly effective, fully romantic, and intrinsically poetic. Hornby definitely has a way with words. It's not necessarily flowery, but it's very much adequately descriptive, fully immersive, honestly, and just very enjoyable, okay, and exciting, to be honest. It's also very reflective of the time that it is set in, and I'm really loving that. I would say my only real qualm with this book right now is that it's really slow and mundane. It feels like we're just going on a leisurely stroll with the main character Cassandra as she shares about her life and her family, and that's obviously not a bad thing. I am quite enjoying that. There are just obviously and expectedly some lulls in the story. But aside from that, I'm really enjoying this and I'm having a good time. I've underlined so much in this book because I do think the writing and the story is very reflective of what you would call feminism. But at the time, obviously, that was not the case. It was just women literally just trying to be and exist and just live with the life that life has dealt them. It's very obvious that this is simply a story about Cassandra and in turn Jane Austen herself, and we are just, going along and following along with the story. It's just not that exciting, unfortunately. Regardless, though, I'm really enjoying it. So it's the next week, okay, well past when I finished this book. But tell me why I was editing and I realized that I did not give my final thoughts on this book. So here I am to do just that. I really, really loved this book. I enjoyed it so much. I found it so beautifully written and so intentionally done. Everything made so much sense. And while it was in fact quite slow, everything came together so beautifully. The ending was very wholesome. I got even like emotional at the end there because it just felt so beautiful, and the fact that this is based on a real life story of the Jane Austen and her sisters is just mind blowing to me. Throughout my reading this book, I was wondering what about this book is real and what about it is not. And apparently, the stories about all the sisters and the entire Austen and Fowl family is real. It is based on the real life story of Jane and her sisters and her family in general. But the letters that Jane sent to Eliza that were read throughout this book are actually fully fictional, which is so insane to me. The way this author was able to blend fact and fiction in such a seamless and effortless way, I literally would not have known. I just really, really enjoyed this, and honestly, this has kind of reinforced my desire to read more Jane Austen books and books by her sisters because I'm pretty sure Cassandra wrote one or two books. I think I'm going to settle on a 4 star with this book because I really did enjoy it. I had such a great time reading it. I honestly really love books like this that are based on real historical facts and figures that cause you to think and cause you to want to make your own research on those historical figures. That's literally what I've been doing for the past few days, researching and finding out about Jane Austen and her sisters and her family and her life and her death as well. Yeah, I just love that this book encompassed all of that, including so many different themes like love, of course, and loss and grief and depression and shame, especially as a woman back then, as a spinster. It just tackled so many themes that I didn't necessarily expect going into it, and I really, really enjoyed and appreciate that. So yeah, so that obviously brings us to the end of this video. We were able to get 3 books done in this video, and since I actually finished this book, I read like 2 more books. So things are looking good on that front. I was a little bit scared because I thought I was going to enter a book slump, but that is not the case, obviously. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've read any of the books that we read in this video. Just talk to me down below. I love reading and replying comments. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram if you want to be book besties or just besties in general. I would really love and appreciate that. Can't lie, bookmas is really kicking my ass, but we move. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Bye.